Good morning or good afternoon, everyone. It's Ankit. Whenever or wherever you're watching this video, thank you for watching this video and spending your time here today. If you found value in today's video, then click the subscribe button. Today's video is going to be about the number one thing you should do financially for yourself and why you should start early if you're young. And then don't forget about part 2, which is you need to use whatever that is, because if you don't use it, then part 1 is just for no reason. Leave a comment with what you think it is in the comments below that I'm referring to and why you should be doing it and why you should be doing this every year. So the number one thing you should be doing is opening a Roth IRA account at a young age and contributing as much as you can to it every year. So here's the top 5 benefits of the Roth IRA account. Number 1, it's tax-free growth and withdrawals. Let's start with the biggest advantages of the Roth account. The ones that will keep the government out of your pocket permanently: tax-free growth and withdrawals. Roth IRAs are one of the best vehicles to save for retirement, given the tremendous benefit of tax-free growth. With a Roth IRA, you contribute after-tax money to the account, so you don't get to avoid tax on your contribution as you might with a traditional IRA. In exchange, your money grows tax-free and you'll be able to withdraw it tax-free at retirement. And it's usually around the age of 59.5 or older. The Roth IRA is a powerful way to grow your nest egg. But even those who have a traditional IRA may convert it to a Roth IRA and reap the benefits. However, Congress recently been reconsidering the so-called backdoor Roth conversion, so it might make sense to act soon. So make sure you're dropping everything you're doing and you're paying attention to this video, because this video is very, very important for everyone that's young or the same age as I am, or even older. This is very, very beneficial to you, and you should be doing this. If you haven't, I recommend you start it this year. So, forget subscribing, forget dropping a like. Just make sure you focus on this video and pay attention, because this is very important. Another benefit that's amazing about the Roth IRA, you can pass it down to your heirs. While it can be easy to overlook, the Roth IRA is a great wealth transfer vehicle as well. The Roth IRA allows you to pass any money in the account tax-free to your heirs. Depending on the circumstances, heirs could still grow the account tax-free for years and maybe decades. But because that money is in the Roth IRA, any distribution will ultimately be taxed to the recipients. The rule around inherited IRAs are quite tricky. However, it is important to understand them before, diving into it. Withdraw contribution penalty free at any time, unlike some retirement accounts that can ding with penalties. If you need to withdraw some money before retirement, the Roth IRA allows you to withdraw the contribution at any time, tax and penalty free. The key word here is contributions. That is only the money that you added. If you take out earnings before you're able to make qualified withdrawals, you'll owe taxes on them. So a Roth IRA can offer a lot of flexibility if you run into emergencies and need access to cash. It's kind of similar to like an HSA. You can invest that money and you also use it for medical expenses in particular. So you should check out an HSA account as well. While experts advise not tapping into your account, sometimes you don't have a choice, and it can be a relief to know that you can do so without extra burden on taxes or penalties. There's also no age limit for a Roth IRA. Your age does not prohibit you from contributing to the Roth IRA as long as you have earned income from working, not merely investments. You can contribute to the account and take advantage at any age. Your contribution can be more than $6,000 in 2022 or earned income, whichever is less. However, those over the age of 50 can contribute an extra $1,000, so making it $7,000 per year. In addition, non-working spouses can contribute to the Roth IRA if they have a spouse who earns income. Roth IRAs don't have required distributions. The traditional Roth IRA has them, as do the traditional 401ks and Roth 401ks. Yes, majority of the retirement accounts, only the Roth does not have a required minimum or an RMD. As the name suggests, an RMD forces you to take minimum distributions from your account at least annually. With an RMD, you'll be forced to withdraw money whether you need it or not, and that means taxes and a halt to the tax advantage compounding inside the account. But the Roth IRA avoids required minimum distributions entirely, meaning you can compound as long as you like, even passing that money to untouched to your heirs tax-free. So just because you have a Roth account doesn't mean you're all set. You still need to invest your money, so make sure you invest your money wisely in your Roth IRA account. And while you're earning money, it's tax-free earnings. Your account will earn additional money either through interest in deposit account or investment returns in an investment account. And this additional money won't be taxed either. So if, for example, you contribute $20 to the Roth IRA, it grows to $30. That $10 of growth is yours, tax-free to spend as you wish. So just because you put money into the account doesn't mean you're all done. You still need to make the money work for you, and then you can do whatever you want with the money. Here is an example of why a Roth IRA account can be beneficial and can change your life around. We have Peter Thiel turned his retirement account from middle class into 5 billion tax-free piggy banks. So what did he do? Over the last 20 years, Peter has quietly turned his Roth account retirement vehicle intended to spur Americans to save from their golden years into a gargantuan tax-exempt piggy bank. Confidential Internal Revenue Services data shows, using stock deals unavailable to most people, Peter has taken the retirement account worth less than $2,000 in 1999 and spun it into a $5 billion windfall. To put this into perspective, here's how much the average Roth was worth at the end of 2018, $39,108. And here's how much 5 billion is. If every one of the 2.3 million people in Houston, Texas, were to deposit $2,000 into the bank today, those accounts still wouldn't equal what Peter did in his Roth account. So the contribution, as you know, according to the video and according to everything else, is $6,000 per year for most people. So you have the Roth IRA. Let's say it's worth $1,000. You contribute your $1,000 to your Roth account. In this scenario that only a handful of people have access to, you use that money to buy 1 million shares in a new startup company or for fractions of a penny per a share. So 1,000 shares, let's say it's not even worth a penny. A few years later, that company goes public and the value of each share rises to $50. Now your Roth IRA is worth $50 million. Normally, when you sell those shares, you would owe the IRS 20% of your gains. But since this all happened inside your Roth IRA, you don't pay any taxes. Next, you use that $50 million to invest in other companies. When those companies go public or their stock increases in value, your Roth IRA keeps growing. Now let's say you have $100 million. Three steps to open your Roth IRA. First, you want to open an account. Decide where you want to open your account with and who you want to open with. If you want to choose your own investments, choose a brokerage. Like here's some, for example, Fidelity, Vanguard, TD Ameritrade, Charles Schwab, Weibo, SoFi. But if you would like someone else to invest for you and build your portfolio, then I would use Betterment. You can choose Ellevest. There's a minimal difference between the accounts. Just pick one. I recommend you doing your own, but I understand some of us have a busy life. So if you have a busy life, then you could probably have someone else manage it for you. So the decision is really in your hands. Next, you want to contribute your money to your Roth IRA account, whatever brokerage you have chosen. So you'll need to transfer that money from your bank account to your Roth IRA. If you want to automate the transfer monthly, you can. You can just put however much you want to put every month until you reach the full amount, whatever it is, depending on your age. And the most important thing you want to do when you have your Roth IRA account set up and you have money ready to go is you want to choose your investments. Make sure you do your research and pick some amazing investments. Reminder, a Roth IRA is an account. It's not an investment. So just because you have the Roth IRA doesn't mean your money's being invested. You will have to pick your investments unless you have it automated where someone else is managing it for you. If you're DIY, you can build a diverse portfolio with an index fund and or ETF. If you have a robo-advisor who will choose your investments for you, then you're set.